The Nile River is the first river known by mankind. For thousands of years, it played the leading role in the evolution of mankind. One of the oldest and the most magnificent civilizations known in mankind history was developed on both banks of the river. A close relationship between the Nile and the Egyptian man was the product of this civilization. With the time, this relationship was evolved from being affected by the Nile to affecting the Nile through keeping a tight rein on this river and taming it. Here comes the role of the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. Since its establishment in 1857 till this day, this ministry has undertaken the responsibility of establishing huge and grand projects to control the Nile River through an integrated plan aiming at maximizing the benefits, the good management, and the distribution of the river water to meet the increasing population and the increasing demand for water for agricultural and industrial consumption. For this purpose, the ministry began to construct a series of barrages and dams, to name but a few: the High Dam, Aswan Dam, Old and New Isna Barrage, Asyut Barrage, Damietta Dam, Muhammad Ali and Delta Barrage, Old Naga Hammadi Barrage, which is one of three principal barrages on the Nile River in Upper Egypt, besides the High Dam and Aswan Dam. The old barrage establishment was completed in 1930. The deterioration of the water constructions along the Nile River has put its long-term reliability in question, so there was an urgent need to replace them with new constructions through the reservoirs and grand barrages sector in the ministry. Those constructions are one of the most important elements to improve efficiency of water management with the aim of water saving and so sparing water for horizontal expansion projects in the future. Also, to comply with the development of the river navigation and maximizing the benefits of water projects to generate a clean energy. All that is being implemented according to 5-year consecutive plans, beginning with 1997-98 plan till 2016-2017 plan, with the aim of replacing the barrages along the Nile River for a total expenditure of £10 billion. But to meet the growing needs of irrigation water and due to some problems concerning the structural integrity of the old barrage, the ministry considered replacing the old barrage with a new one. New Naga Hammadi Barrage and its hydroelectric power plant was chosen to be located some 3.5 kilometers downstream of the old barrage in a confined reach of the Nile River. Before beginning to construct the barrage, several aims were set by the ministry for this project, such as meeting the growing requirements of the irrigation water, sparing the lost water of the old barrage, additionally producing almost 460 gigawatt per an hour of electric energy annually, sparing $13 million approximately the value of the fuel needed to generate the same amount of energy from the thermal stations. The project also aims at developing the navigation capacity by establishing 2 navigation locks. Each of them allows a small passage of 2 navigation vessels at the same time. The two locks will also secure a continual navigation all the year. Another aim of the project is to construct a new road bridge over the barrage with a cargo up to 70 tons to connect the east and the west banks of the river. One of the distinctive aims of this project is to consider the impact of social and human aspects through raising the standard of living in the project area by providing 3,000 temporary job opportunities during the implementation phases of the project, in addition to 500 permanent job opportunities for the operating and the maintenance when the project is completed. Certain components had to be available in order to achieve the project goals, such as a sluiceway with 7 vents. Each vent is equipped with a 13.5 high sector gate with a width of 17 meters. The sluiceway was designed to assimilate an emergency discharge of 7,000 cubic meters per second. There is a culvert gate over the sector gate allows a maximum turbine discharge up to 650 cubic meters per second. Another component of the project is the hydropower plant, which consists of 4 bulb generator turbines and a maximum installed capacity of 64 megawatt. The average energy produced annually is 460 gigawatt per an hour. There is a major component of the project, which is 2 navigation locks. Each of them is 217 meters length. The usable navigation chamber length is 170 meters with a width of 17 meters. The final component of the tumulus rampart earthwork, which consists of rocky obstructions filled with sand, its total height is 17 meters over the foundation level. This project is being distinguished from other projects because it was preceded by certain procedures to control the environmental impact of it, not to mention compensating the people whom will be harmed by the project through an environmental group set up for this purpose. Also, the approval of 11 principles of expropriation and compensation, paying 18.9 million Egyptian pounds as compensations of people whom will be harmed by the project before the beginning of it. Special conditions were put in the civil works contract of the project to encourage the contractor to hire those whom will be harmed by the project in the implementation works. Also, rubbling and reclaiming of 260 fiddles during the civil works of the project. Those lands were deserted swamps. New Nag Hammadi Barrage, as we recognize, it now was not born overnight, yet it comes as a product of comprehensive studies and pre-planned construction phases. The phase of Nile River diversion. The phase of establishing the tumulus ramparts earthwork in front of and behind the construction site. The phase of erecting and temporary concert diaphragm wall to prevent groundwater seepage around the area. The phase of drying the construction pit and digging until reaching the foundation levels. The phase of establishing the project components. The phase of mechanic and electric installation works. The phase of flooding the project area. The phase of eliminating ramparts and temporary preventing diaphragm walls. The phase of filling up the riverbed, which was being diverted from the front side. New Naga Hammadi Barrage project is a real exploit for the giant projects which took place on Egypt land to complete the Egyptian wearable which is played by the hands of Egypt's sons. This project comes as a genuine interpretation of a march whose features were drawn by the President Mohammed Hosni Mubarak to fulfill the promise which he made from the beginning, when he said, "O my Lord, I have vowed myself and my strife for you. Verily, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." Here is the march of giving continuous, and the great epic speaks for itself.